This is the most common question I get asked over and over again: which action camera should I buy? The GoPro 12 has the best image quality, but I really want a 360 camera, so what do I do? The question is simple, but the answer is not straightforward. And this video is not going to be me telling you to run out and buy the X4 just because it shoots 8K videos, but rather the differences between how you use a regular action camera and a 360 camera. So let's get into it. Now, the way you shoot with these cameras are completely different. The GoPro has a single lens in front which points in one direction, which means that you always have to hold the camera with the lens facing towards the action, subject, or object you want to film. So you need to know how you want to film before you start filming. And if you want to record videos with a wider field of view, you need a longer selfie stick, which often results in that typical action camera shot where we have the selfie stick in frame. And depending on how wide or narrow you want the shot to be, you need to change the lens types accordingly, which means you'll have to stop recording, then change the lens type, then adjust the angle of the camera, and then press record again. The X4 is a completely different camera in this way. You can just mount it on a selfie stick and hold it straight out, and you'll have a more relaxed way of shooting videos. And because it records 180 degrees videos from both lenses at the same time, it captures everything in a 360 degree field of view, which is automatically stitched together, creating this 360 video where you can choose which angle or part of the video you want to use in your edit later. So you basically have one shot with unlimited angles and framing options as well as aspects. And the power of the invisible selfie stick is that it can't be seen in your videos because it's hidden between the two lenses here, which is also referred to as the stitch line. So whatever is in between the two lenses here will always be invisible. And this gives you the ability to be more creative and capture something like fake drone shots where it looks like you have a drone following you, or if you ride a motorcycle and you don't have anyone to film you, like me, you can mount this in all different places on your bike by using some basic clamps and some zip ties. So when you look at it like that, the X4 is the clear winner. I mean, how could it not be? You have all these different options. But it's not as simple as that. In theory, the shots are very easy to capture, probably the easiest of all cameras. There's basically one button you have to press and the camera will record everything. But if we look at the editing parts with these two cameras, with the GoPro 12, I've recorded some vlogs, some POV shots when riding my motorcycle. I recorded some baby turtles and me getting some shave ice. And all these clips turned out as intended and how I wanted them to be, and I can easily share these clips with minimal editing. But with the X4, the editing is more time consuming and there's more steps that needs to be made in order to share your footage with friends and family or even upload to social media. And it's also easy for me to sit here and say that editing 360 videos is as simple as it could be and straightforward because I've done it for almost 3 years now. But for someone new to the game, it might be more challenging. Even if you've been editing 360 videos for a long time and you know the process, it still takes time, which is why I always use a regular action camera alongside my X4. Now, let's say you've been recording an hour-long video with the 8K 360 mode, so now you have to decide how you want that video to look, which way the camera should point at, and which lens type you want to use for the different parts. But with the GoPro Hero 12 or any other action camera for that matter, that option is already gone because it has one lens and records in one direction, and you already decided that direction before you started shooting. So the differences between the GoPro Hero 12 and the X4 is actually huge in two different ways. The X4 is more flexible, you have more options and unlimited amount of framing options, but the editing process takes longer and is something you need to practice. With the GoPro 12, you're limited to what you record because it only has one lens and you have to point and shoot to get the shot. And sometimes you'll end up losing the shot, but the editing process is straightforward and only requires mostly trimming and perhaps some color adjustments. However, if you take the time to learn how to reframe 360 videos, it's well worth it. You have endless options of how you can make the video look, and you have more creativity in the way of shooting videos. The invisible selfie stick allows you to capture some amazing fake drone shots, for example, and overall you can enjoy more of what you're doing because there's less things to think about when you're out using the camera. And when it comes to the GoPro app, you still need a subscription in order to actually edit your videos in a more convenient way, and this subscription is about $50 for a whole year. So if you don't have the subscription, you can only preview, trim the clips, and download the media to your phone. However, after downloading the media to your phone, you can also go back into the app, select the studio, and then create an edit. So you are able to edit your videos, but you have to download everything prior to starting the edit. But with the Insta360 mobile app, you can just connect the camera straight to your phone and start editing right away without needing to download the clips first and then open the app again to start your edit. And comparing the two apps, Insta360 is the most intuitive app out of these two, with more features and a cleaner layout. And when it comes to reframing with the Insta360 mobile app, to simplify the process, there is a feature or a setting called direction lock. This is a feature which basically turns the 360 videos into a single lens video and keeps the angle locked in the same position throughout the entire video. And it's not said that you need to reframe the entire 1 hour video you just recorded. You can also use this direction lock to set as your main angle, and then further into the video, if you need to change the angle, you have the option to set a manual keyframe and then change the angle and then change it back again. So if I want to change the camera angle while still using direction lock, I first set a keyframe right before I want to change the angle. Then I move forward a bit and then make a change to the angle and set a new keyframe. So if I just keep it like this, the reframe video will look forward because this is the last keyframe at this time. But if I want to change it back and have the camera facing me, I can just go further into the clip here. I can make a new keyframe without changing the angle, just to keep the angle from moving between these two keyframes. Then just a few more seconds forward and I can change the angle back to me and create a new keyframe. So these two middle keyframes are basically placeholders to prevent the camera from moving or the angle from moving between these two keyframes, because these two keyframes in the middle has the same value. And this is the main process of keyframing. But what makes the buying decision even more confusing now is that the X4 does also shoot in single lens mode at 4K up to 60 FPS. So you don't need to shoot everything in 360 videos. If you don't want to do that, you can also use the single lens mode, so basically one of the two lenses, and there will be no keyframes needed. And this is where Insta360 is competing with the GoPro Hero 12 and the other cameras out there. So not only do they offer 360 videos at a higher resolution now, but also single lens mode at 4K up to 60 FPS. The single lens mode though is not something which will replace your standard action camera, but something that rather adds to the versatility and use cases if you can only buy one of these cameras. The quality on the single lens mode is not as good as the GoPro Hero 12, so if I want a specific POV shot and I don't want to record that in 360 videos, for example as a helmet cam, I would choose the GoPro Hero 12 as it has much better quality compared to the single lens mode on the X4. So how is the image quality and does it really matter? Most people are watching videos shot with these cameras either on their phone or a small tablet, which both has smaller pixels than a bigger monitor or a TV, and most of these videos look really good on social media. It's only when you compare them side by side you see the real differences, and when you're watching something on social media which is not a comparison, you'd most likely not pay attention to which camera it's shot on, but rather the video, story, or the person you're watching, and whatever's going on in the highlights or shadows or colors is more or less irrelevant as long as the video is engaging. The audio coming from these two cameras is also relevant to which one you'll end up buying. So what you're hearing now is the internal microphone coming from the GoPro Hero 12, and GoPro is known to have pretty decent quality when it comes to the internal microphones. This is the audio coming from the Insta360 X4, which is the latest 360 camera from Insta360. So no matter how I turn the camera, the audio should always stay consistent because it has a 360 directional audio system. So the GoPro Hero 12 is a solid action camera which has better image quality and a higher resolution compared to the X4. And if you know exactly what you want to film and don't want that extra versatility you get with the 360 camera, or you don't want to put some extra work into it, then you know this camera is the one you should buy. But if you don't mind spending a few hours to learn how to use keyframes and how to keyframe 360 videos, and if you're looking for a camera that has unlimited framing options and the ability to hide the selfie stick in your shots, the X4 is the camera you should get. And the X4 is a much more versatile camera with all the different angles you can achieve because of the 360 video mode, and with the use of the direction lock, the editing process is much easier than you might think. I also have some dedicated cheat sheets for the X4 that I use all the time when I'm out traveling, and these cheat sheets help with the creative shots, settings, and how to get the most out of your trip with a 360 camera. So with that said, that's everything for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on these two cameras down in the comment section below, and also on your way down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So yeah, that's everything for today. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye bye.